Her name appears on my screen at 11:47 p.m., a number I deleted months ago, a voice I buried even deeper. I stare at it, frozen, the glow of the phone cutting through the dim apartment I now pretend to call home. The call keeps vibrating, insistent, desperate. I answer on the final ring, not out of longing, not curiosity, just calculation. The moment the line opens, all I hear is breathing, ragged, uncontrolled. Nothing like the woman who once practiced every syllable, every expression, like her life depended on the illusion of perfection. "Please," she whispers, "you need to hear what happened." Her voice cracks on the last word, not from sadness, from fear. There's noise behind her, music, laughter, clinking glasses, a crowd, a celebration, the wedding reception, her wedding reception. "Something happened," she says again, quicker, fractured. "A guest, someone said something, and—" She stops. Silence folds over the line. I wait, calm, cold. "Tell me," I say. And when she finally speaks again, I feel the moment the world I once knew tilts. Not for me, but for her. Because I already know why she called. This is the part where her fantasy begins to rot. And she realizes I'm the only one who can confirm whether the rot ever stopped spreading. I lean back, letting her panic spill through the phone like a confession I never asked for. The storm isn't in my voice, it's in hers. And all I say is, "I'm listening." It started months before the ink dried on the divorce papers, long before the lawyers, the arguments, the silent dinners. Before I learned how betrayal doesn't announce itself, it creeps, slow, methodical. At first, it was just a feeling, something tightening in the space between her words. A smile that lasted a beat too long when she checked her notifications. Her body shifting away from me in bed, like she was protecting something fragile, something stolen. The first real crack came on a Thursday night. She thought I was asleep when her phone buzzed. A soft vibration against the nightstand. She moved too fast, too nervous, too familiar with the rhythm of someone else's messages. I opened my eyes just enough to see the reflection of the screen light up her face, and the way her expression changed, a softness she never used on me anymore. His name didn't appear, of course not, he was smarter than that, or maybe she was. But the way her fingers trembled told me everything I needed. I didn't confront her, I just watched, and I let the suspicion grow quietly inside me like a patient infection. The next signs came slowly. Her perfume changed, her laugh changed, her excuses changed. But my silence didn't. I learned to observe her the way a surgeon studies a tumor, detached, focused, clinically fascinated. She mistook it for indifference. She didn't realize it was preparation. The first step was the phone bill. The second was timing. The third was letting her trip over her own lies. She said she was at a friend's house. I saw the location ping from across the city. She said she had late meetings. I watched her change into clothes no one wears to negotiate contracts. I documented everything, not for revenge, for closure. When I finally sent the toothbrush for DNA analysis, it wasn't to confirm my suspicions about her lover, it was to confirm something else. Something she never thought I'd consider. The child. Her child. The one she told me she wasn't ready for. The one she claimed we weren't financially stable enough to bring into the world. I remember staring at the envelope in the clinic hallway, the sterile smell smothering the air, while something inside me finally stopped beating with hope. The result wasn't shocking, not really, but it shifted something inside me permanently. A quiet click, a door closing, a future dissolving. I walked out of the clinic, each step measured, cold, deliberate, and straight into the life I would build without her. The divorce came after that, clean, efficient, no shouting, no rage. She cried, I didn't. She asked why I wanted it so suddenly. I told her the truth. I don't want to be married to someone who's already gone. She thought it was a poetic line, a wounded sentiment. She didn't realize it was literal. And by the time she married him, her longtime friend, I was already in another country. A life rebuilt. A new beginning carved out of the ruins she left behind. I thought that was the end. But endings are rarely where you expect them. Sometimes they call you back. Her voice trembles as she tells me what the guest said. It's simple, harmless almost, a joke, a careless, passing comment from someone who knew her too well. They told her she looked so relieved tonight, just like she did back when she finally ended things with the father. The father. Not me. Him. The room went quiet after that, she says. Her groom froze. Her smile cracked. Guests stared. And suddenly every carefully woven lie she'd built began to unravel, right there, in front of flowers and applause and vows. Did you tell anyone? She whispers now. No. Then how did they? She doesn't finish. Because we both know the answer. He did. Her lover. Her new husband. The man who promised her everything. He slipped. He slipped in front of the wrong person. And now his truth has collided with hers, tearing the illusion apart. She wants me to save her from it. She wants clarity. She wants a lifeline. Instead, I give her silence. Because the truth she fears isn't the revelation, it's confirmation. When I finally speak, my voice is steady. You're calling me to ask if I knew? She doesn't respond. You're calling me to ask if that child, if your timeline, if your stories still make sense. Her breath catches. A small, broken sound. I continue. I knew everything. Months before the divorce. Months before you confessed even to yourself. Silence thickens between us. I let it. And I let you marry him. Her inhale is sharp, panicked, raw. Why? She asks. Because you always needed someone else to validate your lies. Now you have him. And now he's the one who has to deal with the truth. I hear her crumble on the other end. Not physically, emotionally. Her illusion finally shattering under its own weight. Her wedding music plays faintly behind her, celebration morphing into chaos. And I feel nothing. She begs for an answer, for reassurance, for rescue. But rescue is the one thing I will never give her again. You made your choice, I say quietly, and so did I. What am I supposed to do now? She whispers. Live with it. There's a long pause, long enough for her to understand that this is the last conversation we will ever have. I end the call. Not with anger, not with satisfaction, just clarity. Because in the end, she didn't lose me. She lost the version of herself she could control through me. And I walk back into my silent apartment, the night settling around me like a final verdict. Some endings explode, but the real ones, they happen quietly, like a door closing, forever.